Hey, everybody in the chat. We are back. Not sure what happened, but we're back.
Yeah, I didn't press anything.
Is it a time thing?
No, I wonder if it was just like a...
Like, what time is it? It's already 6:42?
No.
Can't be, because we started later
Yeah,
today than
we started
did
at
yesterday.
11. Yeah.
It's just one of those gremlins in the machine.
No, what happened? That's so weird.
Might be easy to tap that button
Maybe,
because
yeah.
of the trackpad that we have.
Yeah, maybe I did tap it, I guess. I don't know what else could explain it.
Either way, if you're in the chat, how much did you miss?
No, I think we just
I think it was
missed
pretty
this
quick,
last.
right?
Yeah. This last couple minutes. No, I saw our replay here just stop playing our live video.
Oh, yeah.
That's why I looked at it. Whoops. We had this happen. Yeah, it was just Charlie's shot, I guess.
Kevin.
Oh, is that gonna go? No, it's not gonna go in.
So good job narrowing the gap here for Kevin. It's going to take a lot of work to get it going.
Yeah, we're back and running.
And yes, you love the Floyd, Buck Moose says on Twitch. Yeah, them and us. It's a great one. Breathe, of course.
Them and us, or us and them?
Us and them.
Us and them. I think it's
Am
that
I
one.
thinking of us and them, and then there's also them versus us, or us versus them by LCD Sound System.
Oh yeah, okay.
Two completely different songs.
Yeah, I think that might be what it is that you're talking about there.
But very similar name.
I really like obviously Money, 5/4 time signature. Or no, 7
I like
7/8
Money.
7/8 time signature. I think. Yeah, Money. No, the song is
We should
awesome.
hang
Or or Time. Right, those are the two that
Yeah.
are my top favorite. I just really like the time signature in Money. It starts off with that boom, 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 boom. It's a very non-standard time signature for all you musicians out there. It's not a 4/4. It's not a 3/4. It's actually a 7/8 or a 7/4, depending on how you want to call it. But a funny story about that song too is that the saxophone player was performed the saxophone solo flawlessly throughout the 7/8 7/4 section, right? And apparently the lead guitar player wasn't able to get the rhythm down and keep up, so they had to add a whole section in the middle that was 4/4 time, so the guitar player could play the guitar solo effectively. And then they go back to the 7/4, so the whole song would have been effectively the same kind of underlying like beat, but they get to a point where they, the drums go, and then it's a bam, 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 and then it's just like a standard 4/4 rock beat where the guitar is doing its thing. But pretty interesting stuff. I think I saw that in like a documentary or something about
That's
Pink
awesome.
Floyd.
I love those little trade secrets that goes on with these performers. So Buck Moose, I don't want to date you or anything, but how old are you? Give us a range.
Give us a range. He says LOL. Shout out to the Twitch chat. We're gonna get a social security by the end of the night.
Yeah, shit, dude. Oh, watch your language there, Christian. Look at that. He apologizes as a
Social security number.
Oh, so you'll be 40 this year. Very cool.
Nice. Wow. Talk about a... So he I think he effectively fluked that. Oh, wow. What a rocket of a shot there. He's starting to get into it. Nicely done, Charlie Brown. So kind of a little bit of I think it was a fluke. A fluked Brown into the middle. And, I guess... we're going to be swapping referees here, so I think we're going to get CCU into the booth, the famous CCU. I'm going to go head out and put on the gloves. We'll see you in a bit.
Thanks a lot, Christian.
Thank you.
Oh man, I was gonna take a break, but I just saw Buck Moose in the Twitch chat. So funny. He managed to give us his social. It's so cool. It's a 147-147-0147. I'll be back. That's awesome. All right, we are back. Will this be the last break off of the day? Buck Moose in the Twitch chat says Kevin just needs a moment to gather himself. It's a race to the bulk line, and the white ball has it. So yeah, definitely needs to gather himself. Kevin does. I believe he did a good job in the previous frame. He did a better job than in the first two. But I think the experience of Charlie helped him survive a comeback. Could be wrong. Just one man's opinion. Jamie's sitting here beside me, but she doesn't have a microphone.
On purpose.
Slow down, Kevin. If carpet tile came up as he dragged his foot. You have to step into your shot. Don't drag your feet there. Still did not lose concentration. As mentioned earlier, he's a very pleasant gentleman. Takes things in stride. So the audio sounds weird to me. How is it sounding? I hear an echo. Okay. Yeah, okay, the echo went away. So with a good break of 19, it's unfortunate, unlucky. Man, don't try to say fortunate and lucky at the same time. So he has to be careful now, not leave a red ball open for Charlie to get a started on that black ball. Gotta miss the blue, but yeah, pretty safe. Charlie has a healthy lead in terms of frame count, so he can opt to go for this red. He's playing with house money at this point. And sometimes when you play with house money, you get a little, just a fraction careless. But if you're playing a $10 match with $5 in your pocket, you better be good. As Lee Trevino says. Good call on Buck Moose. In Twitch, he says choice of reds here after the black, so long as he doesn't pound it in. I think you and Kevin are on the same wavelength at this point, so wish him well. There's a point in time, I'll get better at snooker, I'm sure, but there's a point in time when I'm in these situations where I start to think, oh my God, if I miss and I leave him in these reds, it's going to be terrible. Don't miss, don't miss. Whereas the beginning of the break, I'm thinking, visualize the ball, pot the ball, get it going. So it's mine kind of goes crazy. I think the temperament of Kevin is that when he gets in that groove, he doesn't get too excited. How's his luck? So yeah, 36 break. Nice shot to be on the black ball. It's Charlie's time to shine. All right, people. We are back. Yeah, I'll say it again. And it could be his style, it could be his experience, but I do like the way Charlie plays carefully and looking at all the options. The differences between winning and losing are so slim. A little bit long for the left red of the 3 to go into the middle pocket, but he has options on those 2 by the top cushion, obviously. Maybe he doesn't want to disturb those 3 reds quite yet. SC Manhattan in the YouTube chat says, "Hey all, snooker stream, great. Is that the Charlie Brown from Vancouver?" It is. It is the one and only Charlie Brown. Sorry, Schultz. There is now only one Charlie Brown. Very skilled player, very nice guy, very supportive of the sport. So we're happy to have him here. He takes his snooker very seriously. Wants to get a feel for the table, feel for the room in a tournament setting, so he could be better prepared for when he's here in a couple of weeks for the Seattle Snooker Open, March 18th through the 20th. I call that an Etch-a-Sketch shot. When you shake an Etch-a-Sketch, everything changes. Oh, playing with the cue ball. Kevin's a little disappointed from running into that black, but it was a really decent red ball. Took away 8 points from Charlie, 8 potential points. Really good shot. That takes a lot of touch. Going in off was definitely a possibility. And so snookers like that, yes, they're easy to get out of, but it worked because he's now on a red. He's on both of them. It's his choice. Just don't hit it. Don't overhit it. Oh, he overhit it. Is he lucky? Does he see the pink and the black? Watch that. I would go for the pink because that red ball on the cushion. Maybe that red ball is just going to be in the way regardless. Got through the ball. Very nice shot. Great cue action with the rest. You have to hit a color to stay up there. Good job. $35 on the table. $43 on. Nicozinos, hi from Vancouver. Thanks for the stream. I hope I pronounced your handle correctly. This is the Kevin that we know. And I was worried for him about getting the nerves kind of being shaken off, and by the time he feels like he's in the match and he can be present and actually know what's going on around him, that he needed to get into that mindset sooner rather than later. And whoa, almost gave him 3 frames. And so the fight is still on. He earned another frame to play. Charlie is still on the hill. Buck Moose is asking on Twitch chat, what's the remote in the ref's hand for? Scoreboard? Yes, it's for a scoreboard. So in the view from the booth where I'm at, I can see the score as the referee inputs it. It's a really nice gadget. We were talking earlier about scoring, and there is a lot of technology out there that is burgeoning, and so some decisions need to be made in the snooker community as what technology are we going to all start using for scoring? Is it going to be automatic scoring? I'm not talking about professionals. I'm talking about amateurs and clubs like Ox and Empire. Are we going to have automatic scoring? Are we going to have cloud snooker scoring? A lot of possibilities out there. In my opinion, it's automation all the way. I think that score is a little off. My mistake. Yeah, but we're all good now. Buck Buck Moose is asking, is there player ratings in these leagues that you guys run? Yes and no. Nothing official, nothing that we can really do anything with other than work out in our own club, but it's not good enough. What we would like to do is have a ranking system through the USSA, any sort of governing body, maybe the PAPSA, so that we can get I don't know if it's a curriculum, but we can get an understanding and a system for ranking players on North America and South America that is similar to the World Snooker Tour, but not exact because we're amateurs.
I would like to add, though, that any woman player, adding just that any woman player that played in the World Women's Competition is ranked in the World WWS. So, we do have players here that have ranking.
Yep. The Seattle players from America, get that. Goodness gracious. The Seattle players are now officially ranked according to the WPBSA because we hosted a ranking tournament here. And that's cool, and it's worldwide ranking, and it is a pathway to the pros, the World Women's Snooker is. It's the pathway to the main tour, the professional tour. And right now we have five women players that have earned that tour card. And so ranking is also crucial. We've been talking about what is needed. We need referee, we need coaching, and we need a ranking system. Well, Charlie just shot up from his chair. Chomping at the bit. I don't think he's discouraged about the miss. It's a tough shot, but I don't think he likes where that red ball landed. I think Kevin is doing the proper thing by stopping. He needs to look at other options, though. He's going right back. He's trying to find out where the cue ball's going more than looking at options, though. Quality safety, just right on the cushion. Is there a path back up to bulk? So it's very difficult to put side on the cue ball where it is. So he's going to have to look for natural angles to come back up. Oh, not sure that was the right choice. Those two reds at the bottom. The top one goes fairly easy into the right pocket. The question is he on a color afterward? Yeah, Buck Moose is thinking the same way. Well done, missing those two reds. At the same time, the black ball is wide open. Two good accomplishments. Buck Moose. Yeah, man. Hey, my email is mike@oxbilliards.com. We are experimenting with remote commentary, and if you're willing to test things out with us, I think it would be pretty cool. I'll commentate with you, but I won't date you. You won't ask for my age like I did with you, or you're not going to buy me a beer afterwards. What's going on? All right, it's a date. He says, I'll buy you a beer. So I said it's a date. Let's do it. Yeah, man, Wisconsin. Always wanted to go up to, I think we dipped into Wisconsin just a bit when we were in Chicago. I don't know, in that area. How about coming back from Pennsylvania? I'm asking Jamie. But it does seem like, I know it's very cold, right? But I haven't spent much time in the middle of America. I saw Chicago just got a new snooker club recently. Yeah, I believe that's Tom Tan. I think he put up 3 tables. It's a really nice room, high quality lights and tables. And he's a really nice guy as well. Tom is, I believe, if that's who you're speaking of. Mickey Singh in the Facebook chat. What a shot there by Charlie Brown. What is he going to do with it? What are his options? Brown back down. Looks like that's it. Or just safe. Sorry, back to Mickey Singh in the Facebook chat. Thanks for the stream. I love watching this game rather than pro. I love to participate in a future tournament. Well, here's your chance. Go to oxbilliards.com, visit our store, and you can register for the Seattle Snooker Open happening March 18th through the 20th. It will be the second Seattle Snooker Open ever. The first one we held last year, and CCU won it without losing a frame. Now we got a lot of interest last year. We got people from all over the country. We got Canadians, and we got a person from UK come in, Mr. David Brock. He wasn't in America just for us, but while he was here in America, he decided to pop on in. This tournament, what we wanted to do differently is offer entries to players in different parts of the country because there was a lot of interest. So we wanted to leverage that interest into developing a qualifier system. You keep doing the same things over and over without improvement. You're moving backwards. So we had a meeting right after. I say right after, but in my timeline that could be a month. So we had a meeting after the Seattle Snooker Open, before the Washington State Snooker League Season 3. Oh no, Season 2, that is. And we always have a meeting. Anyone is welcome to join the open meeting, and we always talk about how can we improve. What did we do right? How can we do it better? And what do we do that could have been improved or just completely eliminated? So until we find the right solution, both with experimenting and researching what other organizations are doing, as soon as that happens, we'll have all the tools that we need to move forward, get a professional tour stop here in America, maybe a pro-am situation. Lofty goals, right? But these are, in my opinion, Ox is right now at a point where it's humble beginnings. We're just getting started. So come on down, Mickey Singh. Get on the Seattle Snooker Open and have some fun. It's definitely a good group of people, and there's a lot of really good restaurants and bars around in Capitol Hill, Seattle. You don't need to rent a car. It's a hotel 2 blocks away that we have a corporate rate for. Kevin is feeling it. No jinx. I think that jinx is obviously it's not real, right? But I think it stems from the player and the commentator both kind of thinking the same thing. Oh. And the player's reaction is kind of maybe loses focus. I don't know. There is something about the way the shots that have been played before that curse comes into play that both the player and the commentator instinctively recognize that there could be something going awry with this shot, even though it's an easy one. My opinion. Buck Moose says he just sent an email, and I'll definitely read it, and I'll respond, and we'll get it going. Do some test runs. No such things as a commentator curse. Yes, absolutely. And there's no such thing as a snooker god, right? There are snooker gods, Jamie says. Ronnie is pretty close. I think he would agree with you. Buck Moose says Ronnie is pretty close. And I said, I think he would agree with you. Every so often I forget to read the chat. And so I'm answering a chat question or comment, and it seems like you're just talking about anything. But as soon as I just read the chat, you guys know what I'm talking about. big hill to climb here for Kevin. And Charlie is just trying to keep him at arm's distance. Just keep him away. Yeah, I mean, again, the experience of Charlie Brown, and I know that there are a lot of really well experienced players watching. In Seattle, we have a mixed bag. In America, we have a mixed bag. Don't go in. And so that little shot where you drift the cue ball up behind the brown, because you know the table's a mess, you don't want to try anything. So you just do a simple shot, and he got rewarded for it. Yeah, Buck Moose says, I guess with this commentary we are supposed to commentate the ideal shot or what the players are going to shoot, because that will be very difficult without watching these guys playing day in and day out to learn their play styles. Yeah, the audience is predominantly Americans, I would say, for us. I have to go look at the analytics again. YouTube is watching you guys. So yes, we do have to be pretty explanatory. We need to kind of describe what shot they might take, what options they might take. Alrighty. So yeah, back to the Buck Moose's point. We here at Oxen, the commentators, anybody that would like to commentate and has a love for the sport is welcome to join us. And so we get ourselves, we're not pros, so we don't really know the correct shot. But we have put pros behind the booth, and we have had professional coaches come in. So we are learning. We obviously know what we would play, and as a commentator, that's where I start. I'm not saying that my way is the best, because it ain't. But learning natural angles helps. And it's not a test where you're like, hey, I'm going to predict what this shot's going to be, and it worked out. I mean, so what? So, I think the job of the commentator is to be entertaining, suggest what might happen, reasons why, so that you can learn this beautiful sport. That's how I learned it. To be honest, I mean, YouTube was a YouTube University right? For snooker. I mean, you kind of have to do that. There was only Empire Billiards, and it was kind of dry for me working long hours, so there wasn't much. There was a 100-year-old snooker table that was closer, and played a lot at that place, but 100-year-old table, it's not going to play well. So I had to learn on YouTube.
I also think with the influence of pool players, we saw a lot of really unconventional shots yesterday on the live stream. And so maybe we'll add something to the repertoire of what snooker is supposed to look like.
Yeah, there is a lot to that. That's a really good point. And before we opened bays, back before the pandemic, me personally, I knew how good of acuists we have in America, but there's also a lack of academies for pool. Like, name one academy for pool, please. Somebody, I could use Google, but there isn't that curriculum, right? For pool, and pool is dominant. Pool dominates America for sure, and a lot of the world. Yeah, chat's going nuts. So, to ask a question, I think Buck Moose and Snooker 155 are wondering if we're going to host the USSA Nationals again this year. And traditionally, it's not held in the same place twice. I think it has occurred, but I'm not saying it's a hard rule. I'm just saying traditionally. And so we are not going to be hosting. Sorry about that. We are not going to be hosting the Nationals this year. But we are going to test out. We're going to take a look at how this qualifying tournaments went. What went well, what went wrong. We're going to regroup, and we're going to do it again for a tentatively planned tournament in November, the U.S. Open. We want to resurrect the U.S. Open. And the reason for that is the USSA National Snooker Championship is citizen-based, right? And there's a reason for it being citizen-based, and it's a very good reason. But in my opinion, there's another way to build a sport in this country, and that's to bring in players from other countries. So you have a U.S. Open tournament, try to get as much sponsorship as you can, make it attractive to people from overseas to come in and compete. It's amateur, but we'll take a pro. Come on in. The 129th ranked player should come over and play the U.S. Open. They'd whip us. They would whip us. Anyway, so yes, we completely enjoyed having the USSA National Championship here. It was a goal. We wanted to be a championship club. And it also helps expose a lot of people in this area to the sport. But really, the Open is the way to go, in my opinion, if we can get that going. USSA is also behind it. They support us. We work with them. We want to work with them. And PAPSA as well is an organization that is super important to growing snooker. And so, there's so many possibilities. We just all got to come together. The USSA has not announced where the national championship will happen. If anybody is on the stream from the USSA and knows when they might announce, let us know. Well done, avoiding the double kiss. Well, folks, they said it couldn't be done. They said that we couldn't have... Whoa! Look at Kevin getting creative. Nice little fluke there. Oops. So yeah, we had 16 players. Round robin group. We had the quarterfinals, best of 5. Semis, best of 7. Unfortunate. Hey, man. You got a return on those 2 reds pretty quick, right? You got lucked into those 2 reds, and then luck was taken right away. Take it back. So he is now negative 2 points in the luck area. David Burney in the chat. Let's all work together to grow the sport. Yes, David. David does a lot of work to expose people to the sport, holding tournaments and commentating on Canadian snooker, U.S. snooker, PAPSA snooker. He's now a commentary. I can't think of the word. You're like all over. Like you're this hemisphere's David Burney. It's crazy. It's really cool. I love it because you do such a good job of explaining everything and keeping people's interest. And you're going to be doing commentary for PAPSA now. You did the commentary for the tournament in Toronto where Ahmed Ali won his tour card. And you did the commentary when Stephen Wong was winning the USS Open over here in Ox. So TK in the YouTube chat says, you need to win 1 frame for the pride. I think you might be referring to if we had a US Open and the 129th ranked snooker player was to show up. Buck Boo says that would be a slaughter fest. And TK says you just need to win 1 frame for the pride. And I think I agree with you. Just get 1. First lead of the frame, I believe, for Charlie. I wonder if he can get behind the green, just rubbing that lower red. He might be looking at the angle from the opposite view, the tangent line. What's he looking at here? The plant? Or is he looking at banging the red into the other red? Like a little carom? No, it's not. So he went the opposite way. Instead of going behind the green ball, and he went this way to avoid pushing the red ball over the cup and not getting positioned behind that one green ball. So it was a wise choice. And if he doesn't get behind this pink, which he did not, Kevin did not get behind the pink, Charlie is now rewarded for his safe play. And really well rewarded, because if he can miss the blue and the green, he can come back for the high value colors, the pink and the black. So we got unlucky there a little bit. To keep the cue ball on that half of the table, because if he lets the cue ball go to the other half, then that red is definitely on. Yeah. Buck Moose. I don't know if he got a full snooker behind the brown, but it's at least in his peripheral. And then Buck Moose also said on Twitch, he said, "Let me at him," referencing the, oh my goodness gracious. No way. That was sweet. God, it's on the side of the blue where he wouldn't be able to hit it on the right side of the blue to avoid all the colors to try to hit the red. So he's going to have to do 2 cushions, maybe 3. Don't overhit it. Okay, now you can overhit it. That was, unlucky. It's hard to judge. It would have been better for him to look at the table a little bit, walk around, and then take another perspective, a fresh perspective. So the first walk up to the table, you have anxiety, and you're looking at everything, you don't know what to do, and then you finally find out what to do, and you take another look without moving and take your shot. Yeah, cannon into the brown. That's what Buck Moose is saying. And look at that. Beautiful call there, Buck Moose. That cannoning into the brown stopped the cue ball. And he hit the correct side of the brown, so the brown wasn't in the way of the yellow ball going into the middle pocket. So this looks like a tournament winning break, possibly. Oh man, okay, maybe that is a curse. What's going on? He was trying to play safe. All day he was trying to play safe, but slight hiccup. Gonna get it past the black ball. A secondary snooker. It's not a snooker.
I guess I just have to say hats off to Kevin, because he's behind, but he is digging in and he's playing his game consistently.
Come on, white ball, get over there. Yeah, it's it's really good to see, right? Because like when we first met him, he was not this player. He's worked very hard. And it looks like this might be the end. But he'll get a nice reward, nice chunk of cash plus paid entry, and he better be confident that he can play in a tournament with these quality players. At the same time, Charlie Brown, like, was the favorite coming in. Like, we had to say that it was either going to be Charlie Brown, Prathamesh, or Varun. That was my choice. No offense to anybody that I left out. Still alive. 18 points on the table. The pink looks better than the black to get behind.
David Burney says the Canadians are coming to the Seattle Snooker Open, so look out.
Yeah, that's going to be tough. I'm not looking forward to that. I would love to have them, but it would be a really big effort for us to win the Seattle Snooker Open. Us meaning Seattleites or Americans if you're coming from other parts of the world. I'm not saying we don't want to see Canadians win. We love you guys. All I'm saying, it's just friendly competition. And we will bring the maple syrup, David Burney says on Facebook. Well, we will provide the battered bacon, breaded bacon. pour some syrup on that. Oh, look at this. He's going to try the shot. Okay, then cut here.
So Kevin needs 2 snookers to pull this off.
Oh, wait, hold on. I have the score incorrect. So he needs 1. Because I'm following the scoreboard on the table, and I did not add the 5 points to Kevin. This is a good shot. Sid Flower in the Facebook chat asks, where is this being played? This is being played at Ox Billiards in Seattle. Want to learn more about us, go to oxbilliards.com or visit our Facebook page, YouTube page, YouTube channel, I should say. And of course, Twitch.
You probably mentioned this at the beginning, but Kevin has actually already won his spot.
Yes.
And so the purpose of him entering this tournament is to be ready
Yes.
for the Seattle Snooker Open. So I think he's definitely meeting his goals.
Yep. As they say, the man with the plan. Well, I mentioned earlier that his home club is Empire, and Cece is an incredible mentor in terms of players and business owners, as he has helped me quite a bit. So Angus Liu is from Empire as well, and he's a fantastic player. He's only 22. Great job, Charlie Brown. We have the winner of the qualifying tournament.
Congratulations.
Not a surprise, but he played so well. He got used to the tables and just was just always ahead of his opponent. And just whenever his opponent got close, he just kind of pushed him off.
I think he played his best snooker this match.
This match. Yeah, no doubt. I think he took the gas off the pedal once he reached the hill.
That's fair.
And it's normal, I guess. I don't know. There was, up until that point, there was not much threat from Kevin. And he did try really hard on those first 4 frames, but I don't think Charlie was expecting him to do so well in the 5th. And he showed who he is as a player. And so here we go. This is what happens after a snooker match.
The teaching aspect.
The teaching, it's so wonderful. It's a good community.
David Burney is commenting that Javier almost had Charlie, referring to last night's match.
Dude, Charlie. What a great game Charlie had. Great match. That was anybody's match last night. But Charlie Brown just kept his cool, held it together, and then came in this morning a different person. Like, he regrouped, got it together, played well, and now he has the top seed in this qualifier, so he'll be ranked very well. Might go straight to the knockout, we'll see. And then Kevin, coming in second place, will get some cash, and you'll also get what he wanted, and that is experience, as Jamie was saying. Yeah. So, a lot of positive things about this qualifying tournament. Tons of
There's
positive.
Javier.
Where is Javier?
He says, yes, I took the gas off the pedal.
No, you didn't. Why did you do that, Javier? In the Facebook chat. Yeah, it's tough. It's tough to always be on. But this was your first tournament against players that were, for this area, a high standard. Very, very good players. And you and Clay as well did a great job. And Buck Moose in Twitch asks, Javier was playing with the pool cue, wasn't he? Yes, he was, and I believe so was Clay. And we talked about that. Do you remember when Judd was here and he was talking about one of his regrets was not using a snooker cue during the pool tournament?
Oh, that's right, yep.
And so I think the reason for that is, in my opinion, your cue is an extension of your arm and your body, right? And you're on a table that's completely different than a snooker table. You're on a pool table. The cushions are angled differently. There is no nap. Balls are heavier. Pockets are wide, so you have to learn how to use the pockets. You have to learn how to cheat the pockets. There's jump cues involved. And so he went in with nothing familiar to him. It's a different cue, right?
Go with what you know.
Everyone needs a security blanket, right? Through a challenging time, you have to hold on to something. Yeah. So all right. So I wanted to remark on Javier's comment on Facebook. Yes, Clay played better than I thought he'd be. He's only played 20 times, he said. So, yeah, Clay did so good. Both of you have come here and practiced just a little bit, but practice is very different than a tournament. Very different. And you guys do a lot of pool tournaments, Clay and you. Clay was in the Northwest Cup. It's a Moscone style tournament from Littman Lights, and that's between Washington and Oregon State. And so he was chosen to be on the Washington team, did very well. And Javier is an amazing cueist himself, winning tournaments, loves his bank pool. I called him a kick monster. So they might be new to snooker, which is a discipline in cue sports, but they are not new to cue sports. So it's surprising how surprised I was, if that makes any sense, because they played so well. They kept their cool. They didn't know the rules, not all of them. And watching Daniel Sardancilio come in here and run a century on a lineup on his third ever try. So Daniel Sardancilio is a local player that Ox sponsors, and he's semi-pro and does a lot of tournaments, tons of tournaments. Amazing natural cue stroke, very smooth, and he just absolutely killed it on the snooker table. His first tournament, he went to the finals, battled against Prathamesh, and it was a battle. Because the only way you slow down players like Javier, Clay, and Daniel is to play safe and try to take their biggest weapon away from them. But it was a battle, and Daniel came in second. And so with that experience, I should have expected the same from Javier and Clay. And they certainly represented the pool community very well. Let's see here. Mad About Snooker, Candy's Corner, at Ox Billiards. Thank you. Hello?
He asked a question earlier in the chat. I don't know if you...
Oh, he did?
Yep.
Let's see.
Or she, sorry. I think the question was what skill level the players are. Is this the elite league or lower league? That's kind of a trick question because we are in the United States.
Where is that question? Oh, yeah, there it is. The way that we have our rules set up, Mad About Snooker, is that we want to be at the professional standard at some point. So in order to get to the professional standard at some point, you're going to have to play by the professional rules. Now, we're not going to play fully by the professional rules because we're amateurs and we're trying to build the sport, so we can't kill the initiative of a beginner because it's so difficult. So in our region, in our standard, this tournament I would consider to be either advanced or elite in terms of our standard now. Again, the 200th best player in the world would just slaughter us if they came in and played snooker, even on these tables. But you got to start somewhere, and if you don't start somewhere, then it will never happen.
I guess that is a good point because you mentioned, we have star tournament tables, so we're not learning on club tables. We're learning on the pro tables.
And we had people say to us that was the wrong thing to do, right?
Yeah.
Like even well-respected people in the industry were like, I don't think you should have those tight pockets. You'll never get people to play.
You'll get people discouraged.
Yeah.
But at the same point, when we hosted the World Women's Snooker event, for some of them, that was one of their few experiences playing on star tables.
What happened when they got back?
and it really improved. And Rebecca Kenna also has her own star
She has
table
her own
now,
star,
so that
and
she
Emma
can
Parker
compete on the
got one
Pro
as
Tour.
well. Yeah.
So you got to start where you want to end up.
You got to dress for the job you want, my friends. And so the job we want is a professional tour stop.
Thank you for those kind words, Javier. It was great to have you.
Yeah, in the Facebook chat, he says, thank you. We had a great time, and the place is very comfortable. Okay, well, thank you so much for all the comments, for your attention, for staying with us this long. We're willing to hang out if you have any more comments or questions or anything. Mad About Snooker in the YouTube chat says, fair evaluation. I just like the setup. Finally, someone is doing it on the hardcore tables. Yeah. So if we went with club tables, club pockets, the discouragement would come later. And then we'd lose that investment of time, right?
We'd think we were awesome.
Well, I'm talking about the customers that we want to develop, right? So if they come in, they play it on these tables, and then they're faced with the club tables, that is, and then they end up being faced with a pro table.
There's also a lot of clubs that the star table is the exclusive table, or it costs more to play on the star table. So we just went a different direction, not saying one is right or one is wrong, but
so the incentive behind club pockets that people were telling us, I'm not talking about the intent of other clubs. I'm only speaking to our experience and what people were suggesting to us. So I'm not dissing anybody. But what was explained to us was that the discouragement is it's going to get people to not play. And my thinking, I'm like, okay, so it's a weeder course. That's cool with me. You know, if we get 5% of pool players to play snooker in this country, think about it. It's not much. It's not 5% is not much. I mean, in terms of numbers of people, it's massive. But in terms of, and it's reasonable. 5% of the pool population would love the challenge, love the multidisciplinary action. You know, they're just kind of like, hey man, I want to play carom. I want to play three cushion. I want to play English billiards. I want to play one pocket, 14-1. I want to play everything except for bumper pool. Just kidding.
the length of the game, the strategy involved, it appeals to some.
Buck Moose just texted my girlfriend and asked if we can move to Seattle. It's not a joke. We've had people move to Seattle because of this club. That's not a joke. So, you know, people are hungry for this. We got Christian just practicing, and his improvement has been astonishing as well. We all know that Christian is a really good pool player. But not only is he improving in pool, but he's improving in snooker. So to me that says you can improve in both. One won't take away from the other. And Christian's doing it. There's a lot of others that are as well. Mad About Snooker says, for now I have 82 undercut millimeter pockets. So they play at big, so they play big at slow speeds. Yes. No, that's a really good point. That when you play them slow, when you're trying to convert or when you're trying to get better at snooker from only playing pool, these pockets will train you to not pound them in unless you are familiar with. Sorry, just 1 second. All right, we're going to be joined in the booth by Charlie Brown. So yeah, I am happy to add the great Charlie Brown to the booth after winning first seed in this qualifying tournament.
Thanks.
Great job, mission accomplished.
It was felt like workout there. I call that gorilla snooker. Just we're in the thick jungle, just trying to get it done. You know? Yeah.
Gorilla snooker. Yeah, it was really fun to watch how comfortable you became as time went on. You haven't been here very much.
No, I'm not playing a ton these days. It certainly shows as soon as there's a little pressure, I start twitching a bit. But you just got to play through it, and I rely on my safety game basically. As soon as I start relying on the safety game, I can usually count on that. But it's still, at some point you got to start making balls. So
Yeah, you picked the right moments to do the safety.
Yeah.
Because they were coming back at you, and then you just stiff-armed them.
Yeah, I mean, usually that's something I can usually count on. Even if I can't, I'm not potting balls like I used to, or putting in game frame-winning breaks, I can usually count on the safety game to be there. So that's kind of my my last resort. So.
How did you feel about the pool players, Javier in particular, with that match yesterday?
Oh, yeah, with the pool cue. Well, I'll tell you what, I didn't want to go to bed losing to a guy with a pool cue. As a snooker player, that just doesn't sit well. But actually, he cues really well. So, some guys, it doesn't matter what they got in their hands. If you shoot straight, you're going to make balls, and he did. He could have won that match.
Yeah, that's kind of the point of this whole weekend. We've been talking about, there's a security blanket aspect to having your own cue, regardless if it's a snooker cue playing pool or a pool cue playing snooker. Mm-hmm. You have to get used to the table, the rules, the balls, the cushions, the pockets. Why not have your security blanket to get you through that? Mm-hmm. And I think Javier did a good job.
Yeah, I think he did too, actually. Yeah, no, he played well. He could have easily won that match. I could have been driving home last night.
No way, he had to come back today for the other season.
Oh, that's right. Oh, yeah, I didn't realize that. I guess I was staying regardless then, yeah.
That's the interesting thing about these qualifying tournaments is that we do have to have extra matches to seed everybody.
Right.
How did you feel about that?
Yeah, that's kind of why I came down, believe it or not. Well, one, I just need the practice, but to come 5 hours for a qualifier, really, I could have just paid my entry.
Absolutely.
But I knew you were seeding, if you play the qualifier, so it's going to probably give me a little better bracket in the main event. Yeah. And plus I wanted to get some time in on the tables here, because last time I was here in August, I love these tables. Yeah. They play so good. If you're queuing well, these tables reward you, and if you're not, they make you look foolish.
They punish you.
Yeah.
They will punish you.
Which is how it should be, really.
No, yeah. The fluke aspect, I think, is not totally eliminated. it can't be.
No.
But there is a lot of skill required.
Yeah.
Mental, physical skill. Yeah, you did a wonderful job. There was a point in the match with Kevin where it seemed like he was gaining some confidence in the fifth frame.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, he knocked in a little break there,
Yeah.
and then the next frame he opened up with the little 21 or whatever. Yeah, with the gate. Yeah, I was starting to see that as well.
Yeah, he's a league player in our league, Washington State Snooker League, and he has improved immensely. Like since I first met him, I'm not a really good snooker player. I love the game, but when we first started, we would go toe to toe, and I would most of the time just beat him. Most of the time, in less than a month, you saw improvement. A month later, you saw improvement.
Yeah, he's definitely a guy. If he starts getting comfortable, you can tell he's just going to start knocking in breaks real quick, and put the fear into you because he's not afraid, and he cues really well. I thought he cued better than I did today. I just kind of outmaneuvered him. I feel like my experience, and I, could just put him in trap situations, not let him get his cue arm loose because he's got a beautiful. You saw him punch a couple long ones in and draw him back into bulk.
Yeah.
He's got a really nice cue action. So once he learns the subtleties of the game, I think he'll definitely be dangerous. Yeah.
Yeah, and he's a student. He approached this QT as the same sort of intentions as you. He's already won a spot in the league, so he didn't need the spot. But he's already been seated very high because the league players get seated very high.
Yeah.
But he wanted the experience of playing against Charlie Brown,
Javier,
and Prathamesh, and he got out of a very tough group with Angus Prathamesh.
Right.
And who else? I forget. It's been so long ago.
Yeah. A lot of snooker over the last 2 days. A lot of snooker.
So we got Dave Burney in the chat.
Yeah, Bernie. Yeah, David.
And he's saying, hey, Charlie. Charlie will be in group with Brady, Golan, Tom.
I just, to interrupt, Brady just called me, and
really?
he wants to play.
Perfect.
Yes,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I told him, I said, well, I just spoke to you. She said he's got to enter online. But anyway, he wants to play.
Yeah,
so
sign up,
He'll
man.
be amazing on these tables.
Yeah, the more Canadians that we can get down here, the better, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Because, it's a cultural thing for you up there. It's something that you're born with, and you're not afraid of the table. The table gets smaller as you grow up.
Yeah.
For us, it's already 12. It's huge. It's massive. I still get afraid of some shots.
Yeah.
So to have you here in Seattle and competing in the Seattle Open will inspire the players that need inspiration.
That's good, yeah. And you're only as good as your kind of opposition, aren't you? That's how I grew up, getting beat on by guys that were just so good. But you learn from them, and within time, if you push hard, next thing on you're beating them. That's how you learn. You always have to look up to somebody. Gary Natale was one of the guys I loved when I was younger, and of course the pros on TV. But usually it's just you see someone and go, wow. I just love watching that guy hit the ball.
And TV is one thing, live is very different.
Yeah, it is.
And we can't provide that here. Like we can't. There's no Charlie Browns walking around or Golan, so we can't say, hey, come in here and do an exhibition.
Yeah.
So I was speaking with Stephen Folan.
Yeah.
And he was on the commentary with us, and he mentioned that you were a pro player. You were on the pro tour.
Well, not really, no. Not in England. I just basically played for a living most of my life. I played professionally in 9-ball as well.
Oh, I see.
There was a time in the 90s, I think it was, where snooker kind of dropped off, and all the kind of, I guess you call them Canadian professionals, just had to play 9-ball to make a living. Because snooker just really dropped off. There was just no money in it. So, but snooker's always been my love for sure.
Yeah, we wanted to address that point with these tournaments, with the qualifying tournament and the Seattle Open. During the Nationals, there was a comment during the feedback, and they were like, pool tournaments are very monetarily rewarding, right? You can go every weekend and win $5,000, right? Somewhere in the country. And snooker's payouts in America, I'm not sure about Canada, are not that high. You just won't get that unless it's a special event.
Yeah.
So we wanted to make the entry high. We're going to get the Washington State Snooker League is a sponsor of this tournament, so it's self-funded, and we're adding money to it.
Yeah, nice.
So we want to make the reward to attract pool players with money.
Yeah. Yeah, well, that works, and it's, I'll be honest with you, for me to come from Whistler to here, I got a kid, I got responsibilities, it's a bit of a trek, just coming down, but one, I want to support it, and two, hey, you get a shot at $3-4 grand, that's, that's a nice weekend. So, and it's nice to play for a little bit of dough, like, it actually get nervous again.
Yeah.
It's fun. But it's you're right though. It is just the way it is. There's just not a lot of money, in Canadian snooker.
No,
there just isn't. So,
and to grow the money in America or to regrow it in Canada, we can't rely on. I don't want to say this the wrong way, but we can't really rely on World Snooker and the sponsors that they have, because no one's going to recognize any of those brands in America.
Yeah.
No one. So we need to build it with American companies, American sponsorships.
Yeah. I know, like back east and stuff, there's guys playing big money matches now, like snooker and 9-ball. So they're setting up, playing a match for 30, 40, 50,000.
Yeah.
And, doing it just like here, nice production,
Yeah.
Commentators, all that. And, that's kind of exciting, for the game and, for people to see guys playing kind of real matches for real money. I think that's a good thing, if there's not going to be events.
All right then. Well, again, congratulations.
Yeah, thanks, man.
Thanks for
it was
coming
great
down.
being
Always
here.
good to see you.
Really good. A lot of volunteers helping out and stuff. That was great this week.
Yeah.
Even Cece.
Yeah.
I mean, how big is that? He's your basically rival. He owns it. I'm sure he's not,
Yeah,
but to
he's not.
own another club and come here and run the tournament and referee and help out. I mean, that says a lot.
No, it does.
That's a big deal.
I think people should notice because we do hear that. Like, we hear people. It's so funny. They walk in and they say, "Have you been to Empire? I don't like Empire." And I'm sure they go to Empire. They say, "Have you been to Ox? I don't like Ox." And I always say, "CC's my friend, so you can
Work
stop
together.
saying bad things about him because he's helping me, and this wouldn't be here without him."
Absolutely.
Period. Yeah.
No, that's big to see. I mean, that's how it should be. Community. You have to build your community.
Yeah.
That's working together instead of adversaries. That's great.
All right, man. We'll see you in a couple weeks.
You got it. Yeah, get the long drive back to Whistler tonight. So I should get home about 1, 2 in the morning.
Oh my goodness.
All right.
Well, listen to
Thanks
the
for having
replay
me.
on your way back.
Yeah. Yeah. Right. All right, man.
All right,
Thank
dude.
you.
Cheers.
Bye. Bye, guys.
And to everybody else, thanks again for staying on this stream. I'm glad that we got a chance to have Charlie in to give his feedback on everything. We'll see you guys in a couple of weeks. For those that want to participate, go to oxbilliards.com, go to our store, enter the tournament, pay your fees, and you're in. Don't have to be qualified to get in. And if you're not going to participate, then we'll see you on the stream or we'll see you in the house. Either way, cheers. Good night.